candidate for governor is Paul Schimpf, retired Marine, attorney, former Republican Illinois senator from the 58th District, married to Lori, his college sweetheart. They have 2 sons and live in Waterloo. Welcome, Paul Schimpf. Hi, Paul.
I do like the ABBA reference. So
People remember.
a few of us do if we're old. So thank you folks for giving me just a couple minutes to talk with you all tonight. As Karen said, my name is Paul Schimpf, and I'm running for Illinois governor because Illinois needs common sense leadership we can trust to fix our state. Now, what we've had from J.B. Pritzker is the opposite of leadership. What's right with Illinois can fix everything that is wrong with Illinois, but only if we get somebody else in the governor's mansion. Now, before I really launch into what I have to say, I need a show of hands. I want to see, is there a military mom here? Is there somebody that has a son or daughter in the military? Got one close? Okay, in the blue. All right. So I got out of the Marine Corps as a lieutenant colonel, but you as a military mom outrank me. So if I go over 10 minutes, you give me the cut sign and I will stop. All right. So hold me to that. Usually it's my wife Lori that gives me the cut sign. Lori is the
name is Lori.
Well, that works.
I think you're screwed.
Yeah, she's like, okay, 459, 458. No, I always acknowledge my wife, Lori, because first, she is the rock of my family, but also, it's so much harder on the spouses of candidates than it is on the candidates themselves. Gary was absolutely right about that. So I always thank Lori, even if she's not at the speech that I'm giving. And Lori would have loved to have been here tonight, but our 2 boys are in 7th grade and 9th grade. They were in school today, in person, thankfully, in Waterloo. All right. So she's taking care of them. Now, I want to say thank you to all the familiar faces that I've seen here tonight. The last time I gave a political speech in McHenry County was when I was running for Illinois Attorney General. So I spent my adult life in the United States Marine Corps. I had gone to the U.S. Naval Academy, got out of the Marine Corps as a lieutenant colonel, had been a successful prosecutor in the Marines, ran for Illinois Attorney General in 2014. And if you remember that campaign, the Illinois Republican Party, neither the Illinois Republican Party nor the Rauner campaign really wanted to take on Lisa Madigan. But I went ahead and took on Lisa Madigan. We didn't have much in the way of financial resources, but we wound up, through the hard work of a bunch of great volunteers, we wound up flipping over 44 counties that had previously voted for Lisa, and we won 68 out of 102 counties in Illinois. It was an amazing turnout, and we did that through hard work. But it was a really tough campaign, and after that campaign was over, my wife Lori said, okay, you know what? You said you're done with politics, you're never running statewide again. Well, I didn't think I was done with politics, but how the Republicans sucked me back in was my state senator, Dave Luchtefeld, who's a really good guy. He decided to retire, and he reached out to me and said, Paul, can you run for my state Senate seat? The Democrats are going to run former Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon for this seat. They're going to spend all kinds of money, and you're the only one that I think can hold the seat. So, because it was Coach Luchtefeld doing the asking, I said yes. So I went from that AG campaign in 2014 to another Tier 1 political campaign in 2016. We got outspent by Sheila Simon by over 300,000, but we won that election by almost 22 points. So I was a state senator from elected in 2016 to a 4-year term. I did not run for re-election in 2020. The reason I didn't run for re-election is I think politics is not a career, it's a temp job. And at the time that I would have had to file to run for re-election, I was President Trump's top choice to fill a federal judge vacancy in the Southern District of Illinois. Wow. And those federal judge positions are important. So that process took about 15 months. Met with Senator Durbin. He looked me in the eye and said, you are tremendously qualified. I'm going to try to get some other Democrats to support you as well. And then when I finally got the phone call from the White House, it was while I was picking my sons up from cross-country practice, I got the phone call saying, hey, congratulations, we're announcing your nomination tomorrow. Don't do any media interviews. 2 hours later, I got a second phone call at dinner saying, well, we're not quite ready to go. And what I found out happened later on was after they called me, they gave a courtesy call to Senator Durbin, and he said, I've changed my mind. I'm not returning my blue slip on him. And he wound up saying, I'll let anybody through except for Schimpf. So there were two things that did. One, that left me as a free agent. I could do whatever I want. But the other thing it did is it ticked my wife Lori off so much that she said, you know what? If you want to run for governor and you think you can win and you can make the changes that need to be made in this state, then Paul, I believe in you, go for it. And, well, in honesty, she was a little bit more colorful than that. I'll let you imagine. But I am running for governor because we have what I've been calling the Pritzker leadership deficit in this state. Governor Pritzker has failed our law enforcement. He has failed our veterans at the LaSalle Veterans Home. He has failed our small businesses. He has failed all of us. And Governor Pritzker can be beaten. Now, I'm thrilled with the fact that Gary is gonna run. We need voices like his. We need voices like Darren's. We need all of us to work as hard as we can to make sure that Pritzker is a one-term governor. Now, so what I've been telling folks is, it is a good thing that there are other candidates running for governor besides me. One, competition brings out the best in us. And two, it sends an important message that a lot of people believe that J.B. Pritzker is beatable. And I'll tell you what, if we wind up with 3, 4, 5 robust campaigns getting the message out that J.B. Pritzker is a catastrophic failure, that is going to do so much to make sure that somebody can beat that guy. Now, I look at it as, this is like a high school basketball tryout. We are all on the same team. We're just trying to figure out who's got the best skill set to be the starting point guard. I gave that analogy one time, and somebody said to me, "Well, Paul, how's your jump shot?" And my answer was, it wasn't very good. I rode the bench on my basketball team when I was younger. But what I do have, and the thing that I bring to this campaign, is I have a personal story that is completely different than what J.B. Pritzker has. I was not born a billionaire, obviously. I was the son of 2 school teachers. Every success that I've had in my life has been something that I've worked hard for. I spent 24 years serving our country. While J.B. Pritzker was hiding his wealth overseas to avoid paying taxes, I was ducking artillery fire overseas while I was working on the prosecution of Saddam Hussein. And I'll tell you what, if you've dealt with the Ace of Spades in Baghdad, you are not intimidated by anything in Illinois. Not at all. So folks, in closing, J.B. Pritzker may have the media, he may have some money, but we've got some things that are more important. We have the motivation, because we are fighting for our kids' futures. We have the message, and we have the truth. And that truth is that Illinois is the greatest state in our country. It is a state that is only being held back by its government, by the Pritzker leadership deficit, and the mistakes that career politicians have made. With your help, we are going to take our state back, and we are going to turn Illinois into the state that is the heart and soul of America. Thank you all for coming tonight. God bless you all, and God bless the United States.